Greetings Warhammer enthusiast. Before you stands a voice assistant of the podcast, dedicated to spreading the greater good. If you find this information useful, please do not hesitate to leave a like and subscribe. Together, we shall explore the depths of the Warhammer universe and share in its wonders. In the vastness of the cosmos, among the myriad stars and galaxies, there exists a race as ancient as time itself, the Eldar. Once, they ruled the galaxy with unmatched power and intellect, but with their great power came a descent into decadence, leading to the birth of a monstrous entity in the warp known as Slaanesh, the Dark Prince. This malevolent being feasted upon the souls of the Eldar, leading to the near extinction of their once mighty race. But even in their darkest hour, a glimmer of hope persisted. Hidden in the legends and lore of the Eldar is the prophecy of Ynnead, the god of the dead. It is whispered among them that as their souls are laid to rest within the infinity circuits, a nascent god stirs and grows in strength. Ynnead, they say, is the culmination of every Eldar soul that has passed, their collective essence coming together to form a deity that could rival even the might of Slaanesh. The Craftworlds, massive starfaring vessels that house the remnants of the Eldar civilization, are the keepers of these infinity circuits. Each craftworld is like a vast, ethereal tomb, its corridors echoing with the whispers of 1,000 departed souls. These souls, held in crystalline spirit stones, contribute to the power of the infinity circuits, and in turn, to the burgeoning might of Ynnead. It is believed that when the time is right, when every Eldar spirit is gathered and the craftworlds unite their infinity circuits into one, Ynnead will awaken in full power. This god, embodying the strength and virtues of an entire race, will confront Slaanesh in a cataclysmic battle within the warp. The Eldar hope against hope that Ynnead will subdue and vanquish the Dark Prince, allowing their souls to once again find peace, and perhaps, rebirth. Until that fateful day arrives, the Eldar must persevere. They must guard their craftworlds and spirit stones from harm, ensuring that every soul reaches the infinity circuits. Every death, every sacrifice, feeds the dream of a new dawn for the Eldar. In their hearts, they carry the image of a future where their souls can merge with the god they've birthed, where they might find redemption and rise once more. In the shadowy halls of the Craftworlds, among the ancient Eldar seers who could peer into the ebb and flow of fate, a haunting prophecy emerged. It was spoken in hushed tones, a chilling testament to the dire state of the Eldar race. A few of these seers held a belief that bore both hope and sorrow. For Ynnead, the god of the dead, to awaken with enough strength to vanquish Slaanesh, every single Eldar must first perish. The entirety of their race, once the shining beacon of the galaxy, must be sacrificed for salvation. The weight of this belief was crushing, for it meant an end to all they held dear, yet it also heralded a new dawn beyond that ultimate sacrifice. In the midst of this bleak foresight emerged Kysaduras, known among his kin as the Anchorite. An Eldar mystic of great renown, Kysaduras was known to possess insights that even the oldest seers envied. It was after an intense meditation, where he was joined by the equally legendary Eldrad Ulthran of Ulthran, that Kysaduras experienced a vision of unparalleled clarity. He saw the Eldar's end times, a period of darkness and despair. But in this vision, a shimmering hope persisted, the awakening of Ynnead. And so, with this revelation burning within him, Kysaduras approached the high seers of the Craftworlds, preaching his newfound understanding. He spoke of the dire times that lay ahead, and the sacrifice the Eldar must make. He painted a bittersweet picture of a race facing its end, yet finding a rebirth in its god of the dead. His words were a beacon, uniting the Eldar in their purpose, even as they grappled with the pain of the prophecy. The Eldar, ever resilient and guided by their mystics, began to rally. For them, the words of Kysaduras were not just a bleak ending but a strategy for salvation. The vision of Ynnead's strength and the defeat of Slaanesh became a guiding light, a beacon of hope in their twilight days. In the mysterious tapestry of fate, the Eldar are a race of visionaries, and none among them was as forward-thinking as Eldrad Ulthran of Ulthran. The Farser's eyes beheld visions of an Eldar free from the consuming clutches of Slaanesh, and he believed he knew the way, the premature awakening of Ynnead, their god of the dead. To fulfill this daunting vision, Eldrad hatched a plan that was as audacious as it was desperate. He intended to channel the crystallized remains of past Farseers, known as Crystal Seers, through every infinity circuit across the galaxy. The ramifications of this ritual would be immense, rendering every craft world powerless and even potentially throwing the Imperium's Astronomicon into chaos. But if successful, it held the promise of bringing about the end of Slaanesh. To achieve this monumental task, Eldrad needed a psychic medium of unparalleled power. His sights were set on the crystal moon of Commorragh, a bastion under the grip of the Imperium. This posed a great challenge, but Eldrad was nothing if not resourceful. In a strategic masterstroke, the Farseer allied himself with the enigmatic Harlequins. This alliance of mystics, however, had a challenge to surmount: the significant Imperial presence on Commorragh. But Eldrad, ever the strategist, played a game of diversion. Without revealing the full extent of his plans to the autarchs of his allies, he convinced forces from Ulthwi and Siamhan to strike an Imperial Navy base on Commorragh. This diversion drew away the attention and defenses from the Crystal Moon, leaving it vulnerable. Seizing the opportunity, Eldrad, accompanied by his Harlequin allies, began the complex ritual on Commorragh, with the cosmic energies converging on the moon. Everything seemed to be falling into place, but fate, as the Eldar know all too well, is an unpredictable mistress. A Deathwatch kill team, led by the formidable Artemis, entered the fray. The defenders of humanity had caught wind of the Eldar's endeavors, and they were not about to let this ritual proceed. The moon became a battleground, with the fury of the Eldar clashing against the indomitable spirit of the Deathwatch. The battle raged with both sides showing no quarter. Eldritch energies pulsed and surged, combatants clashed in a dance of death, and the very air crackled with tension. But, in the end, it was Artemis and his battle brothers who tipped the scales. They managed to destabilize the ongoing ritual, causing the very energies Eldrad was trying to harness to spiral out of control. With the ritual disrupted and the moon facing imminent destruction, Eldrad had no choice but to retreat. The crystal moon of Commorragh shattered in a magnificent explosion, marking the end of the farce's audacious gambit. The Eldar's dream of awakening Ynnead was deferred, but their spirit remained unbroken. As for the Deathwatch, they had once again demonstrated their unyielding commitment to safeguarding humanity against the most inscrutable of threats. In the majestic spires of Craftworld Bieltan, two souls would entwine in a dance of fate and passion, their stories echoing throughout the annals of Eldar lore. At the heart of this tale were Larian Starspeaker and Yvraine. Larian, revered as the dire avenger exarch of the Silvered Blade Shrine, held a reputation that resonated across the expanses of his craft world. His prowess in battle was matched only by his dedication to his shrine, and the teachings he imparted to the young aspect warriors who sought his guidance. It was amidst these aspirants that he first laid eyes upon Yvraine. Yvraine, a fledgling aspect warrior, radiated potential. But it was not just her innate skills that drew Larian to her, it was her spirit, vibrant and untamed. Under his tutelage, she honed her abilities, and with every swing of the blade, the bond between master and apprentice deepened. Larian, with each lesson, found himself increasingly captivated by her spirit and vigor, feelings that evolved into something profound. And Yvraine, in turn, grew to respect and adore her mentor. However, as is often the case in the complex tapestry of the Eldar's lives, Yvraine's soul yearned for more. From a dancer's grace, she had embraced the warrior's path, and now, she felt the pull of the mystical arts. Leaving the Silvered Blade Shrine behind, she delved into the arcane world of the warlocks. Larian watched, his heart heavy, as she distanced herself from the path they had once shared. His sorrow deepened when Yvraine's restless spirit led her to become an outcast, a decision that took her further away from Bieltan and into the treacherous realms of the Corsairs. Yvraine's journey was far from smooth. From the disciplined halls of Bieltan, she found herself amidst the tumultuous seas of the Corsairs, eventually rising to prominence as a leader. Yet, destiny can be cruel, and a mutiny within her ranks saw her once again adrift, this time seeking refuge in the labyrinthine corridors of the Webway. Larian, on the other hand, found his world unraveling. The news of Yvraine's allegiance with the denizens of Commorragh was the final blow to his spirit. His feelings for her, once a source of joy, now became an agony that diverted his once steadfast path. In a decision that sent ripples of astonishment throughout Biel-Tan, Larian forsook his shrine. The exarch of the Silvered Blade Shrine, in an act of love and desperation, decided to follow Yvraine into the unknown. Yvraine later became a gladiator in Commorragh. With each fight, she faced a myriad of enemies, each more formidable than the last. The crowds roared and cheered as she danced her deadly dance in the arena, her blade cutting down foe after foe. However, her fate took a drastic turn when she was pitted against a formidable priestess of Moriheg. The duel was unlike any other. The priestess, with her divine powers and knowledge of the eldritch arts, proved to be a formidable opponent, eventually overpowering Yvraine. Just as death seemed inevitable for the once unbeaten gladiator, the arena bore witness to a cosmic phenomenon. From the abyss of the cosmos, Ynnead, the awakening god of the Eldar, reached out and resurrected Yvraine. This divine intervention did not go unnoticed. The very fabric of Commorragh shivered, causing a great disjunction in the dark city. The turmoil was palpable, the air thick with tension and fear. In the midst of the chaos, a familiar figure emerged to stand by Yvraine's side, the Visarch, formerly known as Larian Star Speaker, her mentor and protector. Together, they eluded the relentless pursuit of Asdrubal Vecht and embarked on a journey that would lead them back to their roots. The duo made their way to Biel-Tan, a place that once held memories of simpler times for both. But this return was not one of nostalgia. Their mission was to gather followers of the awakening god Ynnead, soon to be known as the Ynnari. Amidst the intertwining paths of destiny, Biel-Tan found itself under siege, threatened by a demonic invasion. The source of this malevolent incursion was a webway portal located on the maiden world of Yorsulia. With the help of the Ynnari, Yvraine spearheaded the defense, successfully sealing the portal and saving the craft world from an impending doom. The seers of Biel-Tan, their vision clouded by the intricate dance of fate, received a revelation from Yvraine. She spoke of the seventh path, a way to awaken Ynnead in all his glory, without the complete sacrifice of the Eldar race. This news was both a beacon of hope and a harbinger of a grave challenge that lay ahead. The seventh path needed an avatar of Ynnead to be opened. In the heart of Biel-Tan, amidst a fierce battle against the Mask, a malevolent entity threatening to destroy the Craftworld's infinity circuit, Yvraine commenced a ritual of immense power. The energy surged, the very essence of millions of deceased Eldar souls converging, giving birth to the avatar, Yncarne. While the sacrifice was immense, it was deemed necessary. Yncarne's birth turned the tide of the battle, ensuring the salvation of Biel-Tan. This avatar, a magnificent embodiment of Ynnead's power, stood as both a testament to the Eldar's sacrifice and their unwavering hope for a brighter future. With the Yncarne's birth, the seventh path had been initiated, paving the way for a possible new era for the Eldar, where they might finally escape the shadows of their past and the hungering jaws of their adversaries. Yvraine embarked on a quest that was vital not just to her people, but to the balance of power in the galaxy. With the fledgling power of the Ynnari behind her, a faction of Eldar dedicated to Ynnead's cause, she sought the Crone Swords. These ancient relics held immense significance, for they were keys to unlocking the seventh path, a way to awaken Ynnead without the sacrifice of the entire Eldar race. Her journey was not a solitary one. Alongside her came followers from diverse backgrounds, the enigmatic Harlequins with their dance of death, the resilient warriors of Ulthwi, and the survivors of the once-lost craft world Altanzar. As they ventured forth, a unique gift was offered to Yvraine, the soul of the Altanzar warlock, Gentilian Onyx Blade. In accepting this gift, Yvraine bonded with a Gyrinx, a psychic feline creature, that would accompany her as both protector and confidant. Their path led them to many challenges, from the desolate ruins of Belial IV to the beleaguered craft world of Ynnead. At Ynnead, Yvraine and her followers faced a dire threat, an invasion from the followers of Nurgle, the god of decay. However, with determination and unity, they repelled the invaders, safeguarding the craft world from corruption. With the Crone Swords within their grasp, the Ynnari embarked on an expedition into the labyrinthine webway, aiming for the world of Kysaduras, nestled within the once mighty Cadian system. But the webway was not empty. Ahriman and his 1,000 sons lay in ambush. In the ensuing conflict, Yvraine unveiled her potent abilities, resurrecting the Rubric Marines, warriors trapped in a timeless stasis. But this display of power was a tactical gambit. Once she had secured Ahriman's word to spare her, she eliminated the revived Chaos Space Marines. The galaxy, however, is vast and full of strange bedfellows. On Kalisis, the Ynnari met with an unexpected group, the Imperial survivors of the infamous 13th Black Crusade. Recognizing a common foe and understanding the tenuous balance of power, the Eldar and humanity forged an alliance. Guided by Yvraine, the survivors made their way to Ultramar, a bastion of human power and resistance. There, on the fortress world of Macragge, Yvraine's destiny intertwined with that of the Imperium in a profound way. Collaborating with the genius Archmagos Belisarius Call, she channeled her abilities to resurrect a beacon of hope for the Imperium, robe out Guilliman, a Primarch long believed lost. With the rebirth of Guilliman, a moment of unity and hope was crystallized for both the Imperium and the Ynnari. Having played her part in the tapestry of fate, Yvraine, alongside the Visarch, departed from Macragge. Their journey was far from over, and the destiny of the Eldar and the balance of the galaxy remained in the balance. But for that brief moment, two of the galaxy's most prominent powers stood together, united in purpose and hope. In the echoing chambers of the Craftworld, Eldrad Ulthran, the ancient Farseer, tasked Yvraine with a quest of utmost importance. She was to retrieve the Hand of Darkness, a relic of immeasurable power, from the depths of Mortarion's Whispering Tower, a beacon of corruption on the Plague Planet. This was not a mission for the faint of heart, for the Plague Planet was the domain of the Death Guard, and the Whispering Tower was said to be a place where the very air could decay one's soul. Before she could reach the Whispering Tower, however, Yvraine had to confront an even more treacherous challenge, navigating the enigmatic Black Library, the most secretive repository of the Eldar. The library was not just a place of knowledge, but also of trials. Within its shadowy corridors, Yvraine faced the alluring temptations of Slaanesh. The Prince of Excess whispered promises of power and pleasure, aiming to divert her from her purpose and ensnare her spirit. Resisting the seductive pull of Slaanesh, Yvraine discovered a mystical rose, the Rose of Isha. It was said that this unique rose would bloom only in the places graced by the Eldar goddess Isha's footsteps. The rose, a symbol of purity and resilience, would be her key to entering the Garden of Nurgle, a place no less dangerous than the Whispering Tower itself. The Garden of Nurgle was a grotesque tapestry of decay and regrowth. Grotesque plants writhed alongside shambling monstrosities, and the air was thick with a miasma of rot. Yet, with the Rose of Isha in hand, Yvraine moved with purpose, her resolve unwavering. Using the rose to conceal her presence, Yvraine approached the Whispering Tower. The structure loomed above her, an edifice of despair and entropy. Yet, guided by her mission and protected by the rose, Yvraine was able to infiltrate the tower undetected. Within its decrepit walls, she found the Hand of Darkness. Taking the relic, she made her escape, her objective completed, but her journey far from over. With the Hand of Darkness secured, Yvraine had achieved a significant victory, not just for herself and the Ynnari, but for the Eldar as a whole. The balance of power had shifted once again in the eternal dance of the cosmos. Commorragh, the sprawling and labyrinthine heart of the Dark Eldar, has always been a place of shadows, treachery, and violence. But in the aftermath of the Great Disjunction, following the appearance of the Great Rift, the already precarious balance of power within this dark realm tilted further towards chaos. The rise of Yvraine and her Ynnari followers in the city's underbelly ignited a firestorm. Their beliefs and the transformative power they heralded posed a direct threat to the established order. None felt this threat more than Supreme Overlord Asdrubal Vect, the cunning and indomitable ruler of Commorragh. But Vect, ever the mastermind, would not engage this new adversary in open conflict. Instead, he chose a more insidious path. With a web of influence that reached into every corner of Commorragh, Vect began orchestrating a silent war. The city's various cabals, already predisposed to feuding and rivalry, became unwitting pawns in his grand design. Manipulating events from the shadows, Vect instigated conflicts between cabals, making it appear as if pro-Ynnari factions were the aggressors. One notable casualty of this covert warfare was the Cabal of Poisoned Hope, ruthlessly eliminated by the Cabal of the Lords of Iron Thorn, all while remaining oblivious to Vect's machinations. The dark streets of Commorragh became even deadlier as Vect discreetly placed bounties on Yvraine and her most loyal adherents. This led to an influx of assassins, mercenaries, and bounty hunters, all hoping to claim the rich rewards Vect had promised. The city, already a den of treachery, became a battleground. But for the Dark Eldar, betrayal and violence are as natural as drawing breath. It took but the slightest push from Vect to plunge them into turmoil. Despite Vect's machinations and the continuous infighting, Yvraine's influence grew. Entire districts of Commorragh, once dominated by the traditional cabals, began to pledge allegiance to the Ynnari cause. These regions transformed into fortified bastions, becoming separate enclaves in their own right, a testament to the Ynnari's resilience and the ever-shifting landscape of power within Commorragh. The Dark Eldar civil war was more than a struggle for territory or dominance. It was a battle for the very soul of Commorragh, a shadow war whose outcomes would shape the destiny of the Dark Eldar for generations to come. In the intricate and enigmatic labyrinths of the webway, battles between the forces of the cosmos often unfold, away from the eyes of mortals. One such clash occurred on the winding pathways of Thretcher. Shalaxi Hellbane, a being of nightmarish beauty, had been released from the torturous grip of the Palace of Punishments. The dark desires of Slaanesh had set Hellbane free, but not without a purpose: the mission to extinguish the nascent flame of Ynnead and to obliterate the Ynnari. In the pursuit of this task, Hellbane called upon formidable allies from the dark corners of the cosmos. Syllesk and a host of Slaaneshi heralds rallied to the call, forming a terrifying warband. Their collective goal was singular: to track down and destroy Yvraine, the leader of the Ynnari. Using its unique ability to sense the echoes of souls, Hellbane followed the trail left by Yvraine across the webway. The hunt led the Slaaneshi forces straight to Thretcher, where Yvraine and her retinue of Bieltan Eldar were making their way through the webway portals that crisscrossed the Cursoi Reach. Thretcher's landscape became a deadly chessboard. From the high mountain passes, two spearheads of the Slaaneshi demons swooped down like birds of prey. The Eldar found themselves trapped, with one demon contingent at their rear and the other blocking their way forward. Seeker chariots, swift and deadly, crashed into the Eldar ranks, causing chaos and spreading devastation. The confines of the webway had restricted the Eldar, keeping them from deploying their vast array of vehicles. Stranded and outnumbered, they had to rely on their agility and combat prowess to fend off the onslaught. The scene was dire, Shalaxi Hellbane, cutting a swathe through the Eldar, its eyes set on Yvraine. But the Eldar were not to be underestimated. Their fierce determination to protect Yvraine became evident as they threw themselves against the demonic invaders. The Farseer, a visionary leader of the Bieltan, made a tactical decision. He sent the Howling Banshees, their wailing masks striking fear into their enemies, to aid Yvraine in breaking through the encircling demons. This move allowed Yvraine to sprint through the valley, her aim clear, to reach the next webway portal. In a final act of defiance and sacrifice, the majority of the Bieltan warriors charged headlong at the demonic forces. Their sacrifice was not in vain. Harnessing the energy of the fallen Eldar souls, Yvraine, imbued with newfound power, managed to evade Hellbane's grasp and escape through the portal, leaving behind a battlefield marked by bravery, sacrifice, and the eternal struggle between light and darkness. Iathglass, a pristine maiden world, bore witness to an event that would forever be etched in Eldar history. Underneath the canopy of radiant azure, the world was chosen by Yvraine, the venerated leader of the Ynnari, as the stage for an unparalleled council. Eldar from various reaches of the cosmos were summoned, esteemed leaders from the major craftworlds, mysterious representatives from the Harlequins, ambassadors from myriad exodite realms, commanders from 3 famed Corsair fleets, and even envoys from the Dark Eldar's cabal of the Obsidian Rose. The central world shrine of Iathglass resonated with the voices of these diverse Eldar factions as they deliberated upon the fate of their people. However, as fate would have it, on a moment that seemed divinely cursed, an unforeseen catastrophe unfolded. During the 6th hour, of the 6th day, of the 6th week since Yvraine's arrival, the air turned cold and the skies darkened. The very fabric of reality ruptured as Shalaxi Hellbane and her retinue of Slaaneshi demons emerged, their sole intention being to claim the head of the prophet. The equatorial Faneway was painted with the blood of those caught unaware, as the demons swept forth with a fury born of dark desires. Yet, adversity has a way of forging unity. The previously fragmented Eldar factions rallied under a single banner against the Slaaneshi onslaught. The agile and deadly Dark Eldar Wyches and mesmerizing Harlequins charged from the northern vales, while the might of the Craftworld Eldar tanks rumbled forth from the southern ranges. In the skies above, Corsair fleet cruisers unleashed hellfire, raining death upon the demonic invaders. However, the Slaaneshi forces, hedonistic and resilient, were not so easily subdued. They reveled in the pain and ecstasy of battle as much as in the thrill of victory. The serene woods of Iathglas transformed into a war zone, with skirmishes and duels breaking out along every shadow and clearing. At the epicenter of this tumultuous clash, Shalaxi Hellbane cornered Yvraine. Yet, she was not alone. By her side stood legendary champions of the Eldar, Jain Zar, Lilith Hesperax, the Visarch, and the enigmatic Solitaire. An epic confrontation ensued, casting a spell of awe and dread on all who bore witness. The emergence of Incarn, the living manifestation of death and rebirth, intensified the battle. However, even its formidable presence could not easily overpower the might of Hellbane. As the battle raged on, a revelation dawned upon the Eldar. The Hellbane they faced was but an illusion, a glamour, a spectral form that was tangible enough to challenge them but not truly there. With a final mocking laugh, the illusion of Hellbane dissipated, leaving the Eldar both triumphant and wary of the cunning and guile of their eternal nemesis. Amidst the vast expanse of the galaxy, the Ynnari emerged as a beacon of hope for the fragmented Eldar race. Led by Yvraine, Ynnead's chosen emissary, they represented a coalition unprecedented in recent times. This group was a confluence of Eldar from various walks of life, the noble Craftworlds, the unpredictable Corsair bands, the dark allies of Commorragh, and even the enigmatic Harlequins. Their goal was grand and twofold: to usher in the birth of Ynnead, and to restore the Eldar to the golden era of their ancient empire. However, the path they trod was not without its thorns. In their desperate bid to save their race, the Ynnari often resorted to tactics that many Eldar found coercive and high-handed. While some rallied behind Yvraine, drawn to her charisma and the promise of salvation, others viewed the Ynnari with deep suspicion. Whispers spread, suggesting that these self-proclaimed saviors were tainted by the very demonic forces they vowed to oppose. Some even believed that the Ynnari were devoid of life, their souls already lost. Their rise to power did not go unnoticed. The insidious eyes of the Chaos Gods turned towards them, sensing both threat and opportunity. None were more relentless in their pursuit than Slaanesh, who viewed the Ynnari as a direct challenge to its existence. The Ynnari wielded power that was both awe-inspiring and unsettling. They carried with them the spirit stones of the departed Eldar, tapping into these reservoirs of souls to amplify their psychic might. In the heat of battle, they had the uncanny ability to harness the energy of the fallen, rejuvenating themselves with each life extinguished. Those among the Ynnari who deeply committed to Ynnead's worship held an even more profound connection with the spirit stones. They could commune with the trapped souls, drawing upon their knowledge, expertise, and memories to give them an edge in combat. Occasionally, ethereal apparitions of these departed souls would manifest around the Ynnari, their ghostly whispers unsettling and distracting foes. However, not every corner of the galaxy looked upon the Ynnari with understanding or sympathy. The Imperium, with its eternal vigilance against the arcane and the heretical, grew wary of the Ynnari's rituals. The Grey Knights, the Imperium's elite demon hunters, launched purges against Ynnari cults after detecting troubling patterns in their incantations, which they believed to be intertwined with the dark forces of chaos. The ultimate quest of the Ynnari was to resurrect Ynnead, thereby sealing the doom of Slaanesh. The method they pursued was known as the Seventh Path, a ritual that would awaken Ynnead without necessitating the cataclysmic sacrifice of the entire Eldar race during the Rana Dandra. But with one of the vital Crone Swords now residing in Slaanesh's palace, this path seemed to verge on the impossible. The galaxy watched and waited, as the Ynnari, with hope and determination in their hearts, tread a path fraught with peril and uncertainty.